It started with a message on LinkedIn. Polished, professional, friendly. Hi, we came across your GitHub profile. We're impressed with your back-end work in Node.js. We'd love to talk. Our startup just got series of funding and we're growing fast. Interested? It looked like a dream. Alex S., a 27-year-old software engineer in Poland, had been unemployed for 3 months. He was sharp, talented, and exhausted. The pandemic layoffs had wiped out most of his freelance gigs, and recruiters had been ghosting him. So when a company called Talentos AI reached out, he jumped. The logo was clean. The company website had pages on mission culture and our investors. The recruiter, Elliot, even had blog posts about remote work ethics and AI team scaling. After one short phone screen, Elliot sent Alex a test. "We'd like to move you forward quickly," he said. "Here's our standard technical challenge. It's a simple backend API problem. Just download the test environment from this link, follow the README, and upload your solution to our portal." Alex clicked the link. He followed the README. And just like that, without even realizing it, he became the patient zero of a ransomware attack that cost 3 companies a combined $42 million. You're watching Cybercrime Exposed Files, and I'm your host, Cypher Paul. In this episode, we're diving into a terrifying new cybercrime trend, one that's exploiting hope, ambition, and economic desperation. This is a story of how fake AI recruiters aren't just promising jobs. They're weaponizing job applications. And the worst part? You could be one click away from becoming their next attack vector. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and awareness purposes only. It contains real cybercrime tactics used by threat actors and is intended to help protect job seekers, developers, and businesses from online scams and malware. We do not promote, support, or facilitate any illegal activity. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's expose the file. Alex submitted his test the next day. He received a thank you email. No red flags, just silence. What Alex didn't know was that inside the test folder, buried between legitimate-looking TypeScript files and express.js boilerplate, was a hidden binary called libutils.dll. The DLL only activated if it was open on a corporate network connected to a VPN. It silently reached out to a remote command and control server using DNS tunneling, a method that disguised the data exfiltration as normal-looking domain queries. Alex had no idea any of this was happening, but the computer he used to complete the test wasn't his personal laptop. It belonged to his girlfriend's employer. She was a project manager at a boutique fintech firm, and she often let Alex work on her device at home while she attended meetings from her tablet. 2 days later, every file on the company's internal storage was encrypted. A ransom note popped up on every machine. "Your files have been locked. We are not interested in politics. We just want compensation. Pay 12 BTC to the following address in 72 hours, or all files will be deleted." The firm scrambled to investigate. Backups were corrupted. An internal audit revealed the attack didn't start from a phishing email or infected USB. It started from a technical test. That was the first confirmed case. Then came more. An Android developer in Lagos, a QA engineer in Vietnam, a React.js freelancer in Germany. All reported the same pattern. Outreach from a recruiter, a coding test, and days later, either silence or chaos. When cybersecurity firm RedCentric was called to investigate the pattern, they discovered something chilling. This wasn't just a string of coincidences. This was a framework, a toolkit, a crimeware-as-a-service package, known on dark web forums as HireHook. It came with a user dashboard, recruiter persona generator, job test templates, payload injector, even a customer support bot, for just $299 a month. HireHook allowed cybercriminals to spin up fake companies with matching domains, SSL certificates, and social media presence, all AI generated. With a single click, they could craft realistic technical tests, inject the malware, and track who downloaded it. And worst of all, it worked. The second wave was darker. A 23-year-old Android developer named Afani in Lagos had just finished university and was supporting his siblings while juggling freelance gigs. A recruiter from Quant Apps offered him a 6-month remote contract. Same pattern, same charm, same test. Within 72 hours of submitting it, the Fonny's internet cafe, where he often worked, was hit. Every customer login session was logged, captured, and quietly exfiltrated. One of them? An accountant logging into a government payroll portal. The ripple effect triggered a full-scale financial investigation. Across the globe, in Berlin, freelance React.js developer Petra Rice fell into the same trap. Except this time, she noticed something off. Her firewall flagged outbound DNS requests in bursts. She didn't think much of it until she saw 2 unusual logins on her GitHub account. Then a week later, 2 of her previous clients got hit. Both had given Petra SSH keys for staging servers. Neither had changed the credentials. RedCentric traced over 1,200 fake recruiter accounts linked to the same set of tactics. In some cases, the criminals didn't even care about deploying ransomware. They were harvesting credentials, planting backdoors, selling access. HireHook had become more than a weapon. It had become an industry. Cybercrime syndicates could now recruit the recruiters. No technical skill needed. Just a credit card, a Telegram handle, and a list of LinkedIn targets. Forensic analysts found that the system integrated with AI voice cloning, allowing fake recruiters to hold Zoom interviews with synthetic voices and avatars, trained on scraped content from real developer podcasts and meetups. It was convincing enough that even senior engineers fell for it. A cybersecurity specialist from Singapore, known only by his handle Crimson Flux, was lured by a recruiter claiming to represent a digital wallet startup in Dubai. Crimson Flux only ran the test in a sandbox. That's how he caught it. He decompiled the payload, reverse engineered the downloader, and posted his findings on GitHub under the title, "The job offer that almost cost me everything." His post went viral in cybersecurity circles, but it was already too late for hundreds of victims. By now, HireHook version 3.5 had launched. Features included geo-targeting filters. You could select by region, role, or skill set. Malware obfuscation toggles for evading specific antivirus software. And even reputation shielding, so attackers could test the payload before launch to ensure it wouldn't get flagged on VirusTotal. What began as a fake job interview had morphed into the ultimate social engineering delivery system. And the psychological warfare was brutal. Victims reported crushing guilt after learning their machines infected client networks. Anxiety, burnout, and in some cases, PTSD. One anonymous victim wrote, "They didn't just hack my files. They hacked my self-worth. I was trying to get a job. Now I can't trust anyone." Cybercrime investigator Lena Patel, who led the RedCentric task force, put it this way: "We used to warn people not to click shady emails. Now we're warning people not to open coding tests from job interviews." So what can you do? How do you spot a fake recruiter in a world where AI can forge LinkedIn profiles, clone human voices, and write perfect corporate boilerplate? Here's what experts now recommend. 1. Verify the domain. Use WHOES tools to check when the domain was registered. Many HireHook link sites were created just weeks before outreach began. 2. Cross-check the company. Look them up on Crunchbase, AngelList, and Glassdoor. Lack of employee reviews or founder details is a red flag. 3. Don't run unfamiliar test environments. Legitimate companies usually link to GitHub repos or use platforms like HackerRank or Codility. 4. Use a disposable or virtual environment. Never run tests on your primary machine, especially not one connected to client systems or VPNs. But even these precautions aren't bulletproof. That's why, in April 2025, a global coalition began to form, led by RedCentric, MIT Cyber AI Lab, and 3 former victims. Their goal: to build a counter framework, one that could detect HireHook-style recruiter templates through pattern matching, flag AI-generated recruiter personas, and inject harmless test canaries, decoys that could trace the attacker's infrastructure without harming the user. They called the project CanaryLink. But just as CanaryLink launched its first test net, something unexpected happened. A recruiter named Daniela messaged a backend engineer in Toronto with a coding test. Only this time, the payload didn't contain ransomware. It contained a rootkit, and it wasn't targeting a fintech firm or startup. It was targeting an AI defense contractor working on cyber weapons for NATO. This wasn't just a scam anymore. This was cyber espionage. And as the trail leads deeper, through fake LinkedIn messages, corrupted test environments, and a growing web of AI-generated deception, we're forced to ask, what happens when the next war starts with a job offer? Subscribe to Cybercrime Exposed Files, because the future of hacking looks human. The engineer in Toronto never clicked the link because his dog started barking during the Zoom call with Daniela, and for a brief moment, her face froze. Not the way Zoom usually glitches. It was too perfect, too still, like a pause video. He rewound the interview later and confirmed it. A 7-second AI loop. Her eyes didn't blink. Her mouth moved, but the waveform was static, pre-recorded, auto-lip-synced. The recruiter was fake. And the coding test? A 0-day rootkit designed to silently install on air-gapped networks. The signature matched an advanced persistent threat group tied to a foreign state. That's when NATO got involved. That's when HireHook stopped being just a dark web tool and became a national security concern. The digital battlefield had evolved again. And the next weapon? Hope. Because when you're desperate for work, when you're tired of being ghosted, when you just want a chance, you'll click, you'll trust, you'll believe. And that's exactly what they're counting on. Then white text fades and you are the new attack vector, but you can also be the firewall. Now here's what you can do to protect yourself. Always verify job offers. Look up the recruiter. Call the company directly through verified numbers. Don't trust links from DMs. Use a virtual machine. Run job tests in a safe, sandbox environment. Never on a device tied to your client's work network or VPN. Stay updated. Follow threat intelligence platforms like RedCentric, MITRE ATT and CK, or Bleeping Computer. Knowledge is protection. Report suspicious activity. Platforms like LinkedIn, GitHub, and even local certs have abuse channels. Use them. You may save someone else. We've linked to free cybersecurity tools and a job scam checklist in the video description. Scroll down now. Protect yourself and share this episode with every job-seeking developer you know. Because the test you don't verify might be the one that destroys a network. Subscribe to Cybercrime Exposed Files. Turn on notifications. We don't chase clicks, we chase the truth. And in our next episode, we go inside the world of dark HR, a ghost network that uses real HR recruiter credentials from breach databases to run social engineering campaigns for cyber cartels. You don't want to miss it. Until then, stay sharp. Stay suspicious, and don't click until you're sure.